Warning. Broken simulation. Broken simulation. With Sam Tripoli.
Welcome to Broken Sim. We're in it.
We're in a hurry tonight.
Dude, we are in a hurry, and I have to keep my jacket on because Johnny over there says my tits are on fire.
Wait a minute. You asked me. Show everybody.
No, I will not, Johnny. I'm trying. I think Dana tried to tell me. She goes, have you been working out? I'm like, okay, I've done it for a week and a half. There's no way I'm that swole.
The shirt's tight, is what I'll say.
It's not the biggest shirt.
It's a Duck Duck Go shirt?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that?
It's a large.
Where'd you get a Duck
I got
Duck Go
that from Brian Callen.
It's a nice shirt.
I like it. Johnny, I don't know if you've noticed, but the Chaos Twins Indiegogo is fire right now. Almost $10,000 in, I think.
Is it really? Wow, that's great.
9 days. No, 8 days.
I'm glad I contributed to it. Everybody,
Thank
if you're listening,
you.
contribute to that. It's going to be great.
So, very thankful. Go check out Chaos Twins. Be part of the Chaos Army.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to look at it. I'm going to give it to my nephew.
So my goal is to do we want to go up, go down, go all the way down. Okay. He's got, there it is. 80 grand. That's very aggressive. Yeah. But if every person gave $1, we would blow past that. If they were like, hey, do we appreciate your 90 billion podcasts? Did you hear that Joe Rogan and Whitney were talking about me? Did you see that clip?
No, I haven't. No. What were they talking about?
So Whitney brings up.
Do you have it? Send it to me. I'll play it.
Look up Joe Rogan, Whitney, Disney. Listen, everybody. Also go to samtripoli.com and get the dates. I just added a couple new dates. I'm going to add some more new dates. I'm going to be doing a once a month. I'm going to be doing a revival. I call it the revival. That's going to be it. And it's where I'm just going to do political shit and shoot it and talk about it. So that's my whole thing.
I like it.
And that's going to be at a place called Room 384, I believe. What is going on?
Where is that?
Hold on, dude. Just chill, bro.
I don't have any chill.
Dude, you got chill, bro.
I don't have that.
I got to tell you the funniest story. Yeah, it's called Room 237. It's based off the Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right, Room 237. But yeah, so this is what my friend said.
Is that from Tripoli?
Did you know that Tripoli has 12 podcasts?
Yeah, at least.
I'm gonna give birth though now. And so Tripoli sends me all this stuff. But yeah, the Disney castle's being made of dicks. It is a compelling case, but I think it was probably more that they didn't pay their animators, and the animators were like, fuck.
Well, the animators do talk about putting those things in. I've heard interviews.
I love it's got to be like, or they're doing cultural Marxism and they're a bunch of scumbags. I mean, who like to put out like cultural Marxism in all the children's stuff, right? And we can get into this right now.
Well, here's the question I have for you then. If you think
Johnny, go to look up Woo Woo on YouTube. My daughter loves watching Woo Woo. Every time I come in,
WOOWOO.
Oh yeah, and it's the creepiest.
Can I ask you though, like those old animators, if they did put secret dicks in, do you think that had any effect on children? Did that had no effect on me that I know of? Like secret dicks in Disney cartoons,
right?
To me, that was more of them just having a laugh than having, because that didn't. What do you think that did something to kids?
But the whole point was trying to get sexual stuff in front of children, and maybe you had to do it with a.
Do you think they noticed it?
Subliminal way
as a kid? I didn't notice it. Well, I don't know what I'm. Are you sure it's spelled WOO?
Yeah, it's basically WOOHOO.
Oh, woohoo! I got you. Okay.
Woohoo! And you want to talk about yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Subversion.
10 million followers.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of
My
stuff.
kid.
No, I will say, by the way, last week we couldn't show any of this because copyright on YouTube.
All right,
so.
just go down. We don't have to watch the video. We don't have to actually watch it. But it's just like, I mean, everything is shot in a creepy porno vibe.
Oh, I feel like this is gonna be one of them, right?
Like
now.
it's
Hey, you guys! We're live from Spider-Man's birthday.
And it's obviously a foreign.
When you have to say something, just tell me to pause it. Because eventually I'm gonna have to cut probably the audio.
Okay, But the point of this is, it's like it's shot in like some high end, a verified account on Pornhub. It has this, they use the same cameras and vibe.
Well, it's also clearly on a real studio. It's like,
And
it's
so
in a real
they're
studio.
foreigners. And I'm trying to figure out. I think it's Russian. I think they're Russians.
You think so? Really?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's Russian, but it's the.
Oh, it is weird. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But what?
Happy birthday to you.
Oh yeah, the words don't match to the mouth.
Yeah.
Do they?
So they don't. So but this is a nice one. This is a normal. And you can tell they're trying to do. It's a Russian. I think it's a Russian like company. And they're trying to do an American show for Americans, right? Or come off as American. And all the guys are easily bisexual. They're like all like weird. Like they all have like blue and pink hair with like the Barry Bonds cross earrings, which is like I used to do this thing like shady. You can always tell when somebody's shady. There's signs of shady shit. Number one sign, hanging cross earring is like shady shit. Like anybody who walks around with a cross earring is shady. I've never met anybody.
I got an interesting fact for you.
Okay.
Now, apparently they're associated with this channel called Troom, which is a multinational YouTube channel often cited as being based in Ukraine.
Oh, dude, there we go. Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. It also makes sense that's super creepy, right? Like I walk out, okay, wrap it up. We're not watching this. We're not watching. I hate doing it, but I'm like, this is like the, we can't watch that. This is too much weirdness.
Yeah.
You don't need to be watching shows where the men have earrings hanging down and pink hair. It's like that's algebra. We don't need you to do algebra right now.
Yeah.
You're still trying to learn how to play. And like, look at
What is that?
right?
Bite me sign with
Yeah, look at that though. So what a lot of these videos
Go
are.
for it.
Look at that. Like, what is this? Look how gay that vampire is. And this is from the Ukraine. And it's for American children.
Oh, that's weird. Look.
Right? But if they're all like this, they're all like super, which is like, hey, dude, I don't care. Be super femmy. I don't care. But why are you doing kid shows like this?
That's weird. Well, now I will say most of the people that are going to want to get into kid show acting are probably going to be gay. You know what I mean?
Which is weird too.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah.
Which goes back to what we were talking about.
We should get into that. Blippi. We got a lot of comments.
A lot of people talking about Blippi.
You
Were they
forgot
upset
about
with
the
us?
video. Well, no, people were like, you got to Google Blippi first. And of course we did. And we saw the video of Blippi. We're not quite at 10 minutes.
So a lot of
just
people are saying
scatting.
that he got fired because of that video.
That's what we've been told. Yeah. I don't know if that's true.
But that's weird to me because that means that it wasn't his show. I thought Blippi ran the show.
Let's see if if Wikipedia yields any results here. But the event we're talking about, if you don't know, like, if you're like us last week and didn't know about this.
Oh, God, Johnny, real quick. Troom, go to Troom, gay girl versus night girl. And this is supposed to be a kid show.
Face actors were bad. The voice actors are 10 times
I mean, come on.
worse.
It is amateur porn shot. It is like verified content creator on Pornhub shot. The camera, the lighting, everything.
yeah.
Like this is
It's in multiple different languages and just sent around the world.
no, they just translate it.
That's what I'm saying. But then you don't have to match the mouths because they're not talking at all. It's
Right.
just different.
Well, it's like no.
Russian, Indian.
Watch this anymore.
Yeah. What are you
It's
doing?
so
to us?
dumb.
But yeah, so Blippi, basically the actor who played Blippi, he was this thing called Steezy Grossman.
Grossman,
That's what it was
Stevie
called.
Grossman.
Steezy Grossman.
Steezy, which sounds like sleazy.
Yeah.
Gross man.
Grossman. Yeah.
Grossman.
Yeah, Grossman. Yeah.
Yeah, which is weird when you see two guys pooping on each other. That's gross men.
Yeah. Kids YouTuber star Blippi regrets the viral video in which he poops all over his friend. Blippi's real name is Stephen John, and before he began performing as a twee 21st century clown, he was a filmmaker in LA. He created comedy videos under the moniker Steezy Grossman. including low-budget and low-brow comedy videos with the titles like Turd Boy, Underwear Man.
See, I think this was from a long time ago. This is one of his stupid-ass videos he made when he wasn't famous.
Yeah, you might be right, but it's not. I want to see how many views these have.
And they
Oh, here
thought
it
it
is.
was funny.
Okay, it was 2013. That's when he did this. 2013.
Yeah.
So, like,
So that was 10 years ago
Well-
when he was 20 in college.
Blippi's real name. Hold on. I'm trying to find the quote again. It's written in gobbledygook.
Because he would be
Yes,
the,
I made a gross out comedy video when I was in my early 20s,
Yeah.
long before I started Blippi.
Yeah,
He said. So
yeah.
there it is. He's not a full-blown idiot.
yeah.
Everyone has a past. Blippi just happens to involve a widely viewed comedic video of him taking a deuce on another man.
So, but can you find out if Blippi is his or is it somebody else's idea?
I can't figure it out. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Who owns Blippi? It's currently owned by something called Candle Media, an American media company led by someone called Kevin Meyer and Tom Staggs. Moonbug distributes children's entertainment, intellectual property, including the YouTube channels Coco Melon, Little Baby
By the
Bum.
way, Coco Melon is the biggest thing on YouTube, and it supposedly makes kids dumber.
Coco Melon, that's the Blippi studio, was acquired for $3 billion. Did you hear that number I just said? The studio that does Blippi, Coco Melon, was acquired for $3 billion by this company.
So they bought it off him.
Well, they bought the studio. Let's see. It's hard to track this down. Let's see. According to different sources, Blippi's net worth is estimated to be around $75 million. So Blippi is the stage name of Stephen John, as we said, an American YouTube entertainer and educator who has gained fame for creating educational video. Educational, really?
Yeah.
Blippi's videos are intended to be entertaining and educational, whatever. In 2020, he earned $17 million from YouTube and ad revenue, making him one of the 10 highest paid YouTube personalities that year. There's no accounting for taste with children, is there? I mean, they just have no taste.
No, but here's the thing. It's like, I would like to know if he has kids. Not that I want to know where his kids or his kids' names or anything like that, but I want to know if he has kids. Because there's something really creepy about a grown man without kids
He joined the Air Force.
doing kids. Okay, that's still creepy.
Yeah.
That sounds like some village people shit.
You know his role in the Air Force was?
What?
He was a load master.
Of course he was. Of course he was. There's nothing about this guy that isn't the creepiest possible point. I mean, like, I don't care. He's probably gay.
Yeah,
I don't
it
even
sounds
care.
like it's his. It says the idea for Blippi videos came to him after he went back to Ellensburg and witnessed his then 2-year-old nephew viewing low-quality YouTube videos. Blippi is described as, quote, an adult man who dresses up in bright clothes and dances around America's deserted soft play centers for the Bennett. What is a soft play? Is that those places where you just like,
indoor
bounce on?
parks, indoor playgrounds.
He's taking inspiration from Mr. Rogers. It says that sounds about right. Yeah. It
No,
sounds like-
he's not even close
Oh, okay.
to
Here we
Mr.
go.
Rogers.
I got it right here. Oh, that's
He's so much creepier than
in
Mr. Rogers.
2020, Moonbug Entertainment. That was the thing that got bought for $3 billion. Purchased the Blippi franchise and the show, then the show started streaming in other languages. So they bought it from him. It doesn't say for how much. And then that studio got bought recently
Okay.
for $3 billion. So
Yeah, because it owned Coco Melon, right?
yeah.
Which is like that. Which is this like really. I mean, the kids' entertainment is just ridiculous, and
You're getting your foot in the door here, Sam. You might be with your
well,
Indiegogo.
I'm waiting for this thing to blow up, and then they're really like, "This guy said the N word 1,000
Oh,
times."
you're screwed.
Yeah, I'm already ready to step away. Get it big, step away.
You're screwed, bro.
I don't even care. I will gladly admit that I said the M word, the F word. I've said every word. I don't care. Suck it. I don't care. So anyways, so now what my daughters like to do is they like their daddy to push them on a double bike around.
Yeah, I saw that bike on your birthday.
Yeah, yeah.
It's awesome.
So I'm walking them, and like I'm playing the thing, and I kind of just zone out and I start talking to myself again, like just playing scenarios in my head where I'm fighting evil or I'm winning the argument or whatever ridiculous story I'm trying to come up with at that time.
Yeah.
So I look down, my daughter's staring right at me. She's 3 years old. She goes, Dad, you've had too much coffee.
Did she?
Too much coffee, Dad.
So funny. Dude, you might have a problem if she's telling you, if your daughter's telling you, your 3-year-old daughter's telling you.
My
to
mom,
cut
who's
it
been
back.
a teacher forever.
Is she
has
still
been
there?
No, she left. Okay. She's very smart. Everyone thinks their kids or their grandkids are super smart, but my daughter puts logic together like nobody's ever seen a 3-year-old. I mean, she is very outgoing for a 3-year-old. Ghost ain't messing around, you know?
It's cool. Maybe when she gets older, she can explain things to you, like how to pronounce last names and calculus and shit like that.
Yeah, I'm stupid, Johnny.
Einstein. What if she becomes...
I was doing a show. Where was I doing
What if
it?
she becomes like a NASA, astrophysicist or something, and you're Sam Tripoli? That would be
No,
that would devastate you.
She's going to be some sort of entertainer.
That would devastate you.
No, I wouldn't.
She's like the next Einstein.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to have to at some point say her old man's crazy. I know that.
yeah.
At some point, she's going to be like, I love him. I didn't pick him to be my dad. I love him to pieces. Okay?
Your last name shows up on like an job application. It's like, oh, wait, it's Sam Tripoli?
Is that your dad? Yeah. Oh, my God, he's a real hero.
yeah, okay.
He's a real hero.
2 insane people.
2 insane people had wonderful children. And they're great. So, yeah, that's it. So, Johnny, what else do we want to get into?
There are a million things.
Oh, Johnny, can I just tell you? So, I was on YouTube, man. And just sometimes YouTube just gives me this weird suggestions. But for some reason, out of nowhere, YouTube suggested the life of Adam West.
Yeah, okay. Batman,
The Batman guy. It's so...
I grew up with that tape. I rented it over and over, the movie, the Batman movie.
It's so crazy. One, do you know that thing only went 2 years?
Yeah.
Like how big culturally it was, and it only ran 2 years?
It's like Star Trek.
And it had gotten picked up for another year by another studio, but I think CBS had it before, and they just destroyed the studio. They destroyed the Batcave, which was the most. So then the new studio, NBC, decided not to pick it up.
That's a drag.
But Adam West,
They made those movies, a couple of movies, right? Didn't they? With that. Cast?
I don't know, but I guess he got typecasted really bad. You listen to his story, like at first this guy just started, everything just started. Like if you listen to if you look how he looks and you hear his voice, he's
Great
destined.
voice. Oh,
destined.
The best voice, yeah.
Destined. And so he starts out in radio, which he has the best voice for. And then he just keeps he starts in a kid show in Hawaii, gets picked up there. Then some guy's on tour and he gives a tour. And the guy's like, you have to do a screenshot for my studio. Does screenshot, gets picked up for shows.
Like a screen test?
Yeah, screen test. Starts killing that. So the whole point of the story is that he gets Batman off a commercial. A Nestle Quick commercial.
Really? What are the odds of that?
Because they're looking for a guy who's good looking and can deliver a comedy line without forcing it. Yeah. And the guy who's making the show sees a commercial and go, I gotta talk to that guy. It basically came down to him and 2 other guys. And they show the other guy's screen test, and you're like, oh, dude, you got the right guy.
Oh, that's so great. That's just like Sopranos. Like if you see the guys that it was gonna be. Like it was little Steven Van Zandt could have been Tony Soprano. Like that wouldn't have worked at all. Can you imagine Steven Van Zandt? It's like that, and it was the guy who played the other. Oh, what the hell is his name? Oh yeah, here it is. It was Michael Rispoli was the other guy. These were the other guys, and they had almost cast Michael Rispoli. That Anthony LaPaglia or whatever, Ray Liotta was in it, and for some reason he couldn't do it. I think the guy who ended up playing Artie was in the running for it. Then Michael Rispoli, apparently, like he was right down to the end, this guy. And then Steven Van Zandt. But it had to be Gandolfini. Can you, I mean, it's just not the same show with those guys.
Gandolfini's physically built bigger than those guys.
Yeah,
and he looks like the dude.
Yeah, he's just
nailed
intimidating.
It.
Yeah.
He just nailed it. And he just couldn't stop doing blow and banging fucking chicks.
Crazy, isn't it?
Like, dude, there were so many stories like they couldn't find him.
Really?
He was in hotels doing blow, banging chicks.
Somebody's got to write
Which
that
goes
book.
back to this Adam West thing, which is so interesting, dude. Adam West, bro, everybody thinks like, oh, we've gotten so loosey-goosey now, with morals and sex. Dude, they were just as crazy back then. They just never talked about it, which is like what I would prefer. I would prefer the open-mindedness of today with the, hey, we don't need to hear about it of yesterday.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, keep it to yourself. You do some weird shit. You're into weird shit. As long as you're not hurting kids, I don't need to hear about it.
Yeah, this whole thing that started with pride. Like, when did that become
when
did pride
defining
become
yourself
a good thing?
by all the weird shit you shove your dick into is just like, I'm over it. So anyways, like, they would just, dude, as the show was going, it was so big with everybody, men, women, children. It was a cultural phenomenon. Everybody was into it. And the groupies were nuts.
Really?
Nuts.
For Batman?
Yeah.
I bet they wanted to put the suit on. Like, hey, dude, put the suit on.
Dude, the chicks would only bang them in the suit.
Really? What kind of documentary did you watch? Was this?
Dude, I'm trying to...
What? This is my favorite scene from the movie I used to watch when I was a kid, by the way. It's so stupid. Look at this fake-ass shark that's attacking them on this helicopter. Look at it. It looks so dumb, dude.
But look how it is.
Send down the shark repellent.
Look at this, though. It's so funny because his knee is making the shark go back and forth.
It's so, I mean, the effects are just, look, that's the shark repellent spray. It's just a can of spray
his
paint.
knee is the one making the shark go back.
Look at this, dude. I love this as a kid, man. I used to watch this over and over
I
again.
can't believe this only lasted 2 years.
I think this is from the movie, though. Like, the movie they did after.
It's his knee doing it.
And then, I mean, look at what Robin is wearing, bro. I mean, it looks, it's so effeminate.
So here's the thing, Johnny. He couldn't bang all the chicks. He couldn't bang. So he'd throw them to Robin, the ones
Really?
he couldn't handle.
Really?
Robin got his overflow.
Good.
It's kind of like when Chris D'Elia went on the road and he brought the guy who looked just like him so he could bang the rest of them.
Hey, man, that's a pretty good setup
That's a
to
good
be the guy
friend.
that looks just, who is that guy that looks just like Chris D'Elia? Do you know?
I forget what it. I know he's a nice guy.
Look, he's
Mark
spraying.
something.
So stupid.
It's so
It's
dumb.
just terrible.
It's so dumb. So anyways, like they would go to swingers clubs.
Eartha Kitt. Oh, she was.
They would go to swingers club and just bang everybody's chick.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. These guys were.
What? His name
filthy.
was Burt Ward, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't
they were
it?
filthy animals. These two.
No kidding.
They were filthy. But women would not have sex with him unless he wore the Batman costume.
And look at him. He's just got dad bod. I mean, he's
so
a normal dude.
So then they would wait in line like it's the doctor's office.
What was this documentary? This wasn't like a History Channel.
No,
like
I'm
an
trying to
authorized
find it.
thing.
I'm trying to find it.
Was
Hold
it
on.
something that somebody made on YouTube though? Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so good though, dude. It's so, and you could tell this guy is like really into.
Did he have like clips of Adam West saying all this shit, like from different radio interviews and stuff? Because he used to do a lot of radio in the 90s.
Oh, let me find it.
Look at him, dude. I mean, that costume. Is
Cool.
just-
It's called the website's called, the channel's called Cool Classics, and they just did something about Adam West, and it's absolutely hilarious.
And when
Oh,
you
here we
have
go.
them,
These are all the women
they
right here.
don't
This has got to be it.
You go.
go down and sign autographs for them. But sometimes a woman would come up to the car and she would reach in for a kiss. She would whisper something in your ear or slip you a note. These were the groupies. He said they were very forward. They would just straight up tell you.
Stop.
They want to have sex.
Stop.
No.
So what he's telling you right now is what I've been telling you forever, and it's what Steve-O said a long time ago. Women want to hook up with famous guys more than men want to hook up with women. And that's why now when you look back at this Me Too bullshit and how these women are like, oh my God, he used me. It's like you wanted to hang out with these kings.
Yeah.
And now now because some reporter's like, did he do you wrong? And you're just going back and you're just weaponizing regret because you didn't get to sit on the throne. So here, play it. It's crazy.
Might have said on something, just not the throne.
Strings attached. It was about living out a fantasy with you. He says at first he didn't partake in any of this. He just sort of brushed them off. But after a while, he couldn't resist the temptation.
Yeah.
So when one of them would come up and say these things to him, he would tell them, why don't you come back at 11 o'clock tomorrow, and I'll have you on the guest list, and they will show you to my trailer. That's my lunchtime.
If I were to kiss you, would you think I was a...
Is that Raquel Welch?
No, of course not. Catwoman.
She was so hot forever.
One of the most natural things in the world.
The woman would show up and they
funny,
would
I
hook
thought
up.
Eartha Kitt was
But he
the
soon found out
Listen.
they really didn't want Adam West. They wanted Batman.
That's so funny.
he had to wear the costume so they could have their real
That
fantasy.
costume, dude.
Which meant that it had to be a quickie because the costume was very hot and restrictive. But that was fine with them because they got to be with the Batman.
Like that
Now,
costume,
he says
though.
he didn't realize that he was adding them to a permanent guest list. So if they ever showed back up,
Oh,
they could
that's
just
so
be
funny. Did you
right
hear
on
that?
in. So one day he's in the trailer with a different woman.
Oh,
they
no.
were doing their hookup, and all of a sudden, bang, bang, bang on the door. It's this other woman, and she's peeking through the windows, wanting in, and it's upsetting the one that I'm with. She's saying, "Get rid of this lady." And I'm telling her, "Hey, you got to go." And she just sits down outside and waits for us to finish.
Waits her turn.
And when the one leaves out, she comes in, and he's like, "She's wanting to do this, but I'm already done." So that's when he learned to pace himself and schedule 2 or 3 of them throughout the day.
Like a
Now, he says that
West was
some of the
just
women also wanted to hook up with the other
dispensing
actors
dick,
on the show
dude.
too. So they would ask Adam to introduce
Well,
them.
look, he's hot.
And he
Look,
said
dude,
he
Burt
went
Ward
ahead
is
and did
slinging
that,
dick
and
there.
whatever
Look at that.
happened between them
Hanging
happened
wang.
between them.
Yeah.
But this one woman invited him out to a swingers party one time. So they went as a couple, and then they would trade off with other couples. And he said,
Oh, he
before
got
the
so
night was
pissed.
over,
Look at that.
He had been with 8 different women. Now, he
8
says
women
there
in
was this
one
other
night.
time
Sounds like
when this
Ocho
woman that
Cinco.
was
And
hooked-
did you see that video this week?
Oh, yeah, let's go
Ocho
into
Cinco
that.
and Trello.
So let's go. Okay, so that's it, dude. Adam West was a G, bro. Is he still alive?
No, he died a couple years ago.
But I guess it got. So what happened with him is he got so typecast that he couldn't work for like a decade. He was
I
getting like
believe it,
small
yeah.
roles here and there. And then he said
Leukemia.
all of his fans became power players in Hollywood and he started getting all this stuff again.
Yeah, yeah. He used to be. I think he was in like Kevin Smith movie. Here
And he
or
was
there.
doing like voiceovers for cartoons and stuff. So, anyways, so this is what cracks me up here,
Let
dude.
me see if I can find the original video so we don't have to watch some other guy talk over it. Hold on. So Chad Ochocinco, Johnson, and Terrell Owens, much less Terrell Owens and much more Chad Ochocinco, were bragging about some orgies they had down the Dominican Republic this week, and this went viral. We all shave for different reasons. I shave so that women don't cross the other side of the street when they see me walking to the grocery store at night. That's my reason. That hurts me on the inside. No matter why you shave, Harry's has you covered for the best shave of your life at a price you'll love. From their legendary high-quality razors to skin products like exfoliating face wash and hydrating lotion, Harry's gives you a premium shave without the premium price tag. And you can get a better quality and a better price than other razors when you get Harry's delivered right to your door. Sam and I both recently got our Harry's trial sets, and I have to say, just holding it in the hand, just the first time you hold it in your hand, you can tell it's a much higher quality item than anything else you could find at Target and places like that. It's also got those amazing razors, which are surprisingly affordable, like butter on the face. Beautiful. A smooth shave, though, we should say, should not be rough on your wallet. The starter set is a $13 value that you can get for just $3 at harrys.com/broken. It includes a 5-blade German-engineered razor, weighted handle that I mentioned before, foaming shave gel, and a travel cover. And you can schedule delivery refills for as low as $2. That's half of what you would pay for other blades. Also, Harry's makes the best skincare products that will give you the best shave ever. Creams, washes, and lotions that will keep your skin healthy and hydrated. They also have those blades made in their own factory in Germany that stay sharp. Guys who've tried them say their 8th shave is just as sharp as their first. And let me mention it yet again. They have that sleek, ergonomic, weighted handle that looks great in your bathroom and gives you precise control with each swipe. There's no reason not to try Harry's at this price, especially. Harry's has the highest customer satisfaction in the shaving industry, and they're still offering a no-risk trial. If you don't like your shave, no worries. It's on them. Again, we want you to get your best shave ever with Harry's razors and skincare products. It's a $13 starter set that you can get for just $3 at harrys.com/broken. That's HARRYS, Harrys.com/broken for a $3 starter set. We can't recommend it more highly. Really quickly, too, we got a Tesla, me and the girl, and I want to get this thing called Acceleration Boost. It's this thing, it makes your car faster. It's a software upgrade, makes your car faster. It's really expensive. I would never pay for it because it's stupid to pay for that. But I could get it for free if one of you, anybody who's about to buy a car already, a Tesla, clicks the link first in the description and uses that to buy their Tesla. Then I could get it for free, and you also get some money back or something. And then also, on top of that, I will record something of Sam for you. You know, if you want to get Sam saying, like, fuck you, Jimmy, or whatever your name is, I'll do it. He'll do it. I'm sure. I'll trick him into doing it. Anyway, thank you. Please click the link in the description.
Oh yeah,
That time we was in the DR with them women.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I had the big girl. I took the, I had to take one for the team. I had the big girl. Sometimes you got man. You know.
Oh man,
like
Terrell Owens is the monster, dude. He jumps on the grenade.
Too, man. They do. You know what I mean? They do. Yeah. But we went through about what 17 women in 12 hours.
Was it
That's a lot of banging, bro. 12 hours?
My mind ain't good, dog.
Yeah, okay.
I don't forget nothing like that, boy. 17.
He tried to get out of the hook, and Chad was
17, boy.
Oh.
17.
By the way,
I thought it was about 12.
Nah,
Terrell Owens can still run like the wind.
Oh, yeah, I saw him, those workout videos.
It's crazy that he never got to go play anymore because he caused so much chaos. He really was the James Harden of the NFL when he played, right?
I was about to say that. Yeah, it's so funny you said that. Yeah,
right? I mean, he just like...
That's my quarterback.
You remember when he basically came out and said Jeff Garcia was gay?
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing.
You can't end sex on even numbers. That's how I know it was an odd number. That's how I know it was an odd number. It was 17.
Oh, okay. It was.
And everyone's like giving him crap. It's like hilarious that like if a guy says that, he's bad. But like, how many of these man on street shows, women are bragging about their body count?
Or that woman on Shannon Sharp like 2 weeks ago, she was like 30 or whatever.
Which we all know is way more than that. But add a 0 to that. Yeah. That's that number. Add a 0. Unless you're so hot that you're really picky, right? But even like Logan Paul's girl was, I would say, is top shelf.
You really like her, yeah.
She's hot though.
Yeah, she's hot. She's hot.
But she just really loved to sling it. You know who else I heard loves to sling it? Jennifer. Who's the girl who was in Hunger Games? Jennifer.
Yeah. Oh, Jennifer Lawrence. Oh,
Jennifer Lawrence.
So and she had some really. Remember, like 10 years ago, she had like her entire phone got leaked onto the internet.
Yeah, but you remember what they tried to blame it on a guy that hacked it, and they think it was Harvey Weinstein lost his phone, and all that shit was in his phone.
Yeah, that's right, because those all came out like what they call it, the wankening or whatever. They had a name for it.
Yeah, what was it called?
The fappening.
The fappening. Yeah,
that was it. Yeah.
All right, so that's let's get into what we wanted to talk about, which was the Bill Burr situation.
Okay, yeah.
Bill Burr, I'm a huge fan, and I consider him a friend.
He's getting a lot of shit right now.
Getting a lot of shit about him and his wife were at the UFC fight. Donald Trump comes in, gets a humongous standing O. Let's remember this. Donald Trump gets a huge standing O, comes in with Tucker Carlson, Kid Rock, the Trump brothers.
That's a cool group, huh?
Right? I mean, it's fun. So he comes in, and
here's the video.
And so there's a shot of Trump. Bill Burr's behind him. And his wife is there. And
Trump is standing, and Burr and his wife are seated behind Trump in the crowd.
Hit play.
All right, here we go. Let me just play that one more time.
That was it. Now, some people have tried to play it off that she's flipping off Kid Rock, but he's not there yet.
Well, she could just be flipping off the camera,
She is flipping off the camera, but she knows exactly who they're shooting.
Yeah.
She's not stupid.
So, yeah.
Johnny, I want to hear your thoughts, and then I'll give my thoughts.
I don't care. I just don't care about this. It doesn't
Johnny,
bother me at all.
Let me just tell you something. I have a lot more respect for her doing that than all of these dog shit people in Texas, and I love Texas, who are cheering George Bush Jr. at all these sporting events. Like, I have way more respect for that.
Yeah.
And listen, this isn't an arena where you got a standing O and one person's flipping them off. Okay? I mean, I am for that. This is the First Amendment. This is what you're supposed to do.
I would love to know what Bill Burr's thinking.
Oh, listen, even though he probably agrees with the sentiment, he's probably like,
yeah.
And listen, again, I love Bill Burr. I'm Team Bill Burr. I'll always be on Team Bill Burr. I'll always defend comedians when cancel culture comes. And I don't know if it's coming for him, but they're giving a lot of shit to his wife. And, I don't have a problem with it. He just got an arena applauding for him. One person, and this is Sam Tripoli doing stand-up, basically what everybody else is doing. I'm crushing in the room and one person's mean mugging me. Yeah. That's all I'm focusing on is the one person mean mugging me.
Yeah.
Okay? Right? I
don't care.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I don't have any problems with it. I love it.
Not bothered.
You can't do that. Now, the question is she representing Bill Burr the best at this moment?
No, of course not. Yeah.
And that is an issue between him and her. And I want to say to anybody here that is really upset with this and are upset with Bill Burr, and this goes back to my RFK thing with his wife.
I was just thinking. Yeah.
Right? It's like when you're with strong-minded women, they do what they want to do. And it's like RFK said, sometimes you're not the king of your castle all the time.
Yep. Sometimes you're not the king of your own castle.
But,
there's a spider web across the camera.
All I have to say is this. If they were at an event and it was Nina's event and there was a big camera on them and Bill Burr flipped off somebody pretty important at her event, how do you think she would handle it?
I don't know her, but probably wouldn't.
Well, we know women, right?
Wouldn't be into it.
So that's it. That's my only thing. It's like those seats are obviously being given to him by either.
But this is a speech issue. It's free speech.
No, 100%. I am 100% Team Bill Burr on this.
If you have a problem with that at home, take it out with them personally, not as a speech thing, not saying they shouldn't be doing that.
Or it's like, and like, listen, dude, listen, do I like Trump? Yeah. Trump, he's my favorite war criminal out of all the war criminals. Okay?
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah.
Right? Like I like him more than I like the other war criminals, but I'm making no illusions. Like, you remember, he's the guy that gave Bill Gates $10 billion, which Bill Gates kind of turned around and used to buy up all the farmland, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, no, he gave a lot of people money that didn't deserve it.
He's the guy that put BlackRock in charge of the Fed. And listen, I prefer him over the other guys.
He kept on droning innocent people.
Yeah. He's the guy that tried to make it an EO, executive order, to ban free speech on campuses for Israel. Okay, so like, there's a lot of reasons you should be given double fingers. Okay. I like Trump. He's a president. You should be able to do truth to power. That's my opinion.
You like Trump?
Well, Johnny, if I had to pick, it's like, hey, who's your favorite?
Nobody's making you pick, though.
What?
You don't have to pick, though.
If we're picking out of the presidents, I like him more than the other ones, but I don't think any of these presidents have our best interests.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
He seems to be more nationalist than the rest of them, or localist, or patriotic.
I think he's completely self-interested, and whatever side of these issues that worked the best for him, he would be on. Because he used to be,
Johnny,
he used to be wildly like pro-abortion. He was Democrat, gave money to Clintons. He was a Democrat. And then I think he saw this opening. He's a smart guy. There's no denying that. He saw this opening to become the president and pursue power, and he took it. And we're just fortunate that many of these issues that benefit us as a country also happen to be, what would you say, expeditious for him. So
yeah.
Anyway,
so
no, I do, and I love how he tweaks the left. I fucking love that.
Yeah, I do
it's
too.
The best.
The people that don't like him are the people I don't like. So
yeah, exactly.
In that
it's
aspect,
like with Elon.
I like him.
I feel the same way about Elon. Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. Are they perfect? No. And do I expect them to save me? No.
It'd be a hell of a lot better than the current president.
Yeah, that's
Biden.
my whole thing.
Yeah.
If I could go, okay, let's just go through presidents. Joe Biden, Trump, Obama, George Bush. Who else do we got?
Dick Cheney.
Yeah. So you go through all these guys. Who would you like out of them the most?
Yeah, you mean the living presidents?
Yeah. I mean, well,
Yeah,
dude, if
no
I go all
choice
the
there.
way back, maybe. I mean, Jimmy Carter, but I think we have a weird revisionist version of Jimmy Carter. But if I had it my way,
Gerald Ford,
no.
Richard Nixon,
No.
Ronald Reagan.
No.
Let's see, Kennedy, maybe
JFK?
Yeah.
Maybe, but probably Andrew Jackson. That's how far back I'm going.
Andrew Jackson, dude,
Yeah.
he killed so many people. He was
Yeah, but he got rid of the Fed, and I'm okay with that.
he killed a lot of Indians.
Okay, I'm sorry to the Indians. I will go to your casinos and make up for
You
it.
could say you love Lincoln, but Lincoln, I mean, did a lot of bad things in the
Again,
war.
they're all war criminals,
Yeah.
bro. It's
Crazy.
like, who's your favorite war? It's like, who's your favorite horror flick slasher, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
I like Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
I like Freddy Krueger. It's like they're all psychopath murderers,
Impossible. It's
right?
impossible.
So that's my opinion.
I've been reading those Civil
Team
War
Bill,
books I was telling you
Team
about.
Bill Burr. I personally wouldn't do that to my significant other. That's just me. That's my opinion.
I've been reading those.
But I'm on Team Burr.
Speaking of presidents, I've been reading those Civil War books I was telling you about. And it's, Lincoln, dude, complicated guy. But the thing that impressed me most about all of them is that they were, we think people have changed. People haven't changed. They were so sassy back then. The guy who wrote the books has all the documents, all the telegraphs that they sent back and forth privately to each other were all saved and became public record. They were so sassy to each other. The president to the generals to
Or were
each
they
other.
like, listen up, bitch?
Just like, I mean, Lincoln's got this famous quote of like, hey, could I borrow the army since you don't seem to be doing anything with it? I mean, that's like a direct quote.
That's what I love.
Yeah, and there's just so much sass
Dude,
going on between
I
these guys.
think that's much better than the presentation. Like when you hear Nixon, he's like, oh, they're doing a lot of gay shit and Bohemian Grove. I'm like, I'm down.
Yeah. I wish you see that too. Anytime a candidate for president loses, then they just become a normal person and start going on, doing the circuit and
Well, it's
talking
like-
normally. And you're like,
it's-
why didn't you do that when you're running?
Well, it's my whole thing is like, the thing that people hate about Trump is that like he was very brash. But I like that. I would rather, I've said
What do you mean,
before-
like the grab 'em by the thing? Or-
Well, all that stuff, right? And even that's behind the scenes, right?
oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Right? But it's like at the end of the day, it's like I just like, what are we doing here? Like, you're really mad because he says he shoots from the hip. Like, that's how sensitive and soft we are. We'd rather have this like presentation of bullshit, which is like why ultimately like we always see these people in Hollywood fall because they present this person that they're really not, and then the truth comes out that they're assholes.
It's a standard that they can never live up to. Yeah.
Johnny, I'm gonna send you something, which is getting into something very.
Are you sending me a link to Cenk's announcement that he's running for president? Is that what it is?
No. I want to send you something.
Did you see this video that I wrote this down as? This video is going to confuse Sam. Let me see. Oh shit, where is it? Hold on. Is this it right here? Yeah, here it is. So I just want to show you like the first few minutes of this video, and your head's gonna go back and forth as to like whose side you're on.
No,
and
I
what
know
you think
exactly what size I'm on.
Just listen to it. It's somebody finally confronted him about it though. The thing you're always
the
saying about his show.
The UK and US is calling for humanitarian pauses in Gaza. Many other countries in the Middle East are demanding a full ceasefire. Israel has ruled out a ceasefire while Hamas holds around 240 hostages who were kidnapped in deadly terror attacks on October the 7th. It says there's already tactical pauses in its daily assaults on the Gaza Strip, where more than 10,500 people reported having killed in Gaza,
stop.
including over 4,000 children.
Yeah. If you're already stopping it, it's going to take a while. I just need to
But
get
I'm
like
gonna be
4
honest
minutes.
with you, man. There's so much stuff coming out that about like what really happened that day, and it's exactly what I said from the start.
Yeah, we're hearing more and
False
more about
flag.
the IDF doing a lot of it.
Dude, I like people just keep calling me an idiot and a pro Hamas. I'm like, I hate Hamas. Hamas sells out their own people.
Yeah,
They're
and they
sellout.
admit they had their part in it. They
Right.
do. I mean, they made a lot of the videos with the help of some really impressive camera work, I must say.
Or the
Yeah.
fact that they found like the Washington Post and New York Times had reporters
Embedded, yeah.
Embedded.
It's crazy.
I mean, what are we talking about here?
It's crazy.
According to the Hamas-run health ministry. On Sunday, the Pope made an urgent plea to stop the conflict.
Well, that'll
"I pray
do
to
it.
you,
That'll fix
Stop
things."
in the name of God. Cease the fire. So with so much bloodshed, is it time for a ceasefire. Do you want to discuss
What
this?
is
American
that
rabbi,
on his lapel?
best-selling author.
That's a poppy flower. I think that's what it's called. It's for Memorial Day over there.
Oh.
That's what they do for Memorial Day.
Shmuley Batayak, and welcome back to Young Turks creator, Democratic presidential challenger, Cenk Uygur.
They're
Welcome
calling
to
him
both of you.
Democratic presidential
Cenk,
challenger.
let me start with you. Many people are calling for a ceasefire. Queen Rania of Jordan, Angelina Jolie.
She's hot, by the way. Have you seen
Yeah,
Queen
of
Rania?
course,
and so on.
dude.
I presume you would agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they've murdered enough Palestinian civilians. And even Netanyahu, in an interview with ABC News, said, now that we're on the ground, we're finally pressuring Hamas on hostages. Oh, so the 7,000 bombs you dropped were totally useless and collective punishment, and your attempt to murder civilians on purpose as some sort of sick vengeance. So please stop the murders, ceasefire right now. Rabbi
Shmuley, your response.
Here we go.
Cenk is polling in the Democratic presidential primaries at 0%. Now, being elected the new king of France. And don't interrupt me, please. And the reason is that the American people are decent. They understand that Cenk's anti-Semitism, which he has voiced on your show repeatedly, calling Jews genocide dares, and this is the eve of Kristallnacht, the 85th anniversary of the start of the Holocaust. He would deny the Jewish people the only dignity left to us, that we were victims of genocide, and he would say that we are the Nazis, we are the Gestapo, for simply wanting to defend ourselves against the brutality and the savagery of Hamas. Cenk, you'll have your turn. Just show some decency. If you're not going to show
By
it
the
to
way,
people, show
stop
it to me
it.
and show
Does
it to
this
the-
guy's beard look like he's like undercover fake beard?
Yeah, it does,
right? Like
yeah.
when the cop goes undercover. Hey, you guys got any of those marijuana sticks?
It's like glued on. Yeah.
Look at how fake his
It
beard.
really. It looks like when you put on the pube beard. is what it looks like.
That was rude.
But who is surprised that a man? Who is surprised that a man the name of whose podcast is Young Turks, who perpetrated the Armenian genocide? The Young Turks is like calling your podcast the Young Nazis, the Young Gestapo. They killed
Look at him,
1.5
look
to
at him.
2 million
He doesn't
Armenians
agree.
between 1915 and 1918. The Armenian community has begged Cenk to change the name of the show. For the first half of his life, he was a complete Armenian genocide denier. Then he changed. Now he is a Holocaust denier because he is saying that the Jews are engaged in a genocide of the Palestinians. Now, which nation? How can there be 1.8 million Muslim Arab citizens?
Rabbi Shmuley, I'm going to go to Cenk. You said some very strong things about Cenk. You can now respond, Cenk.
I just want to say really quick before he gets into it. For somebody who speaks all the time, he's terrible at this. Watch how bad he is.
You should never have this guy on air. Everything he said is a lie. I don't deny the Holocaust. That's insanity. And in terms of the Armenian genocide, there is a powerful analogy there. Why was it a genocide? And yes, it was a genocide. Why? Because they moved and displaced so many people and killed civilians on the way. What is Israel doing?
Okay,
moving and displacing.
Did he just say that?
Yeah,
he didn't even address it.
Yeah.
He didn't even address it. Look at this piece of shit. Like, he didn't even address. I swear to God, man, it would be so hard for me not to rip him a new one, especially if we're in studio. I'm like, dog, I'll come over this table right. I'm not even kidding, dude.
I know you're not. Yeah.
Like, listen what he does. He doesn't even address that his name is named after.
Yeah.
His show's named after that. He just totally dismisses it and moves into what's going on in Gaza, which I agree with him on.
Yeah. That's why I said this would be hard for you to watch, because it's just like,
oh my God, you fat ass,
and then
bro.
he just starts yelling, and it's so bad.
And killing innocent civilians. It is the exact definition of a genocide.
Then why is your name
I
that?
think the Jewish people are an amazing people, and their culture is beautiful.
Yeah,
and I don't tolerate
by the
any
way, that's what you say when you're desperately trying not to be called anti-Semitic. I love the Jews. The Jews are the best. Their culture is amazing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to say he dated a Jewish girl in 12th grade.
I live with a Jew, which I've said 1,000 times.
But I think that the occupation is decaying the moral core of Israel. How long are you going to oppress these people? And I know this guy, all he wants to do is an ad hominem attack. He's a liar. And you can tell exactly what kind of indecent human being he is. But the main reason he's doing it is to avoid the topic. When are you going to stop murdering Palestinians and cheerleading it?
Okay.
If you're talking about genocide, you're the one right now doing the genocide.
May I respond?
Yes, go ahead, more lines. Go ahead.
You know, I've spent my life debating people. Whenever someone starts using personal names and screaming like a lunatic, they're losing the debate. Let me remain
You're
factual.
the one
First
who
of all,
made up things.
The Palestinians were offered a state in 1936.
Stop.
Anyway, it goes on like this.
This is where he loses me.
Yeah.
Okay? Because he just starts losing me here when he's like, that's like going, Native Americans We gave you land.
Yeah.
Why are you upset? It's anyways.
No, but that I just thought that would make you laugh.
Yeah,
that somebody
it's so
finally
funny.
brought it up to
and
his
how,
face. Yeah.
Again, how he just dismisses it, moves on.
Nothing
Like
is
I
like-
have no respect for him. And like his Armenian chick on a show trying to act like she's a badass got him to admit like you didn't do nothing. The name is still the name. What'd you do?
Here is what you sent me just a second ago. I'm not sure what it is.
So this goes back to the Bill Burr and all this stuff. And this, Carlos, I got sent this by some friends, and I want you to watch this.
Okay, it's something Carlos Mencia has put on Instagram with the message, I have a question that only those of you that, quote, dislike me, to put it kindly, can answer. And here we go. This is directly from Carlos. It's muted.
I just picked up my son from school and he asked me a question I don't have an answer to. He said, Dad, ever since I can remember as a kid, people hate on you like about the same things all the time. Why? And he's 16 years old. I don't have an answer. So this question is to you guys that come on my social media, and when people go, he was great, it was an amazing show, and you say, well, whose jokes did he steal? Whose jokes did he tell? They weren't his. He's not Mexican. His name is Ned. All this started in 2005, 2006. So over 15 years, almost 20 years later, you guys are still on this.
By the way.
And I'm very curious because many comedians have been accused not only of stealing jokes and plagiarism, but of a lot of worse things. And this seems to come and go, and maybe months or a few years later, it goes away. But this almost 20-year stigma, that's a me thing. And I'm really curious. Why is that?
Cry.
Why after all these years, is it still something that you want to talk about? I'm really curious. To you fans, this doesn't bother me. I'm in a great place. I have no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, obvious.
But I really am curious as to what is the driving force that this is something that you guys need to tell people after all of these years.
So I saw this, and I'm going to be honest with you, emotionally affected me because I have kids, and that sucks for him.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of my friends who have been canceled that are going to have that moment with their kids, and it really sucks. And I feel for him. I really do. And I've been very vocal that I believe in second chances. As somebody in recovery, I've been able to thrive on that. And, you know, I hear people, like when we hear Whitney and Joe joking like that, I love that. That means they love me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't bring me up if they didn't love me. And even though, like, back in the day when I was a tweaker and I was consumed because I'm the son of, I'm my father's son, that people are thinking about me all the time and all this. And then through recovery, I began to realize that nobody's thinking about me and everybody's white knuckling their life, trying to do the best they can.
Yeah.
But I am very much into second chances. And, you know, I would tell you a great person to look at right now is Dane Cook. Dane Cook is now about to do movies and stand-up. I base on kind of what I saw in the tweet, stand-up movie in movie theaters. So it's like, okay, you're coming back. You got banished to the netherworlds, and now you're coming back.
What got Dane Cook? I don't even remember.
The same thing.
Stealing jokes. Huh?
Yes, that's what got him. And Dane just was, Dane Cook had a boxer's mentality before. And I would say Carlos did too. Very much, there can be only one. Like comics were Highlanders, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that. But back in the day when there were no internet, and which is hilarious because everybody should thank Dane Cook because he was the one who created the model. Mm-hmm. And then it evolved. It went Dane Cook to Death Squad to Andrew Schultz. And then here we are, right? So Dane is back. Dane is now like comedically, like about to do a movie. He's putting out specials. He's still loved by his fans. And you know why? Because he just chilled out. And he goes out of his way not to cause chaos. Right? Now, when I heard this video, it made me very sad. Because again, I have kids, I have friends who have kids, and they're going to have to go through this because a lot of them got canceled.
Yeah.
So I feel for them, all right? And I feel for Carlos, okay? because it has been a while.
Is there a butt coming?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what the butt is. This is it. He went on Bobby Lee's show, and I would say this was about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he again denied that he did any of this. And it's like what I tell people in recovery, like the minute you relapse, it starts over day one. All your dreams get pushed back a year, 2 years. I tell people, like, you get sober right now, in a year we'll laugh at all your problems right now. And I had a buddy of mine he was like, got sober, and I just saw him put out a video talking about how crazy his life was a year ago. And I told him in a year we'll laugh about all the shit going on in your life. Mm-hmm. But the minute you relapse, it is day one. Not just on your day count, on your just energy moving forward. So that when he goes back on that show and goes, I have the notebooks, I'll show you where I wrote the jokes.
Yeah, that proves nothing. That you wrote it in a notebook proves nothing.
But even that is just like, now you're back to day one.
Denial. Yeah.
So you say this is 16 years, now you're day one after that podcast drops.
Yeah.
You start over because what you're saying is that everybody in the scene is lying.
Yeah.
And we all know that's not true. And I've talked about this before. He keeps saying, oh, it's not personal. Like he just did something, The Dark Side of Comedy. Will you look it up? It was just...
He did something?
Yeah, they interviewed him about this whole situation. And he ebbs and flows on it. Because at one point, he's like, I'm not like that anymore. I saw him in hey, I'm not like that anymore. I'm trying to change.
Okay, I got it right here.
And... You know?
Is it this right here, Dark Side of Comedy?
Yeah, Dark Side Comedy.
44 minutes.
Yeah, we're not going to watch it. But what I want to say is that, you know, that's
an episode of something.
Yeah, is that he
something to do with Willie Barcena. Oh, it must be this.
It's like a series, and this was one of the episodes.
Oh, and the whole episode's about him. I got
yeah,
it. Okay.
and it just him going into it. And again, he says this thing where he goes, it's not personal. But then you go back to his interview with Mark Maron, and he literally says, I wanted to show who was boss. I wanted to show everybody who's the boss.
Yeah.
So it was totally personal. Maybe not stealing the jokes, meaning if you heard a joke going and you thought it was good, you just write down. It didn't matter who it was. That might be because he got busted by a guy who turned out to be a complete scumbag too with stealing jokes.
Isn't he also one of those...
Trevino, right? Steve Trevino.
Wait, he busted him and he was also a joke
dude, there's a lot of the tree of Carlos Mencia that stole jokes. So when he goes, there's people out there stealing jokes too, he knows exactly what he's talking about. Most of his fucking his tree. Because they saw him do it. And they're like, I'm going to do it too.
Do you think if Carlos hadn't been a guy who, and this is just stuff I've heard, like big time to people and loved to bump people, that maybe his landing wouldn't have been so hard?
Do you know why his is harder than everybody else's?
Because that's what he's asking.
Because he lied about being Mexican. To the Mexicans and to Latins, that shit's big deal. Okay? Yeah. You know, Mexicans versus El Salvadorians versus Guatemalans. That's big deal shit.
And all his stuff was about being Mexican. Yeah.
Right. So he was lying about it. And that's why he fell more than any other group that any other comic's been called up for stealing. Because their fans are like, he just does it better. You're smack because he does the joke better than you. But then they got that down. And he has a good career. He has a great career. It's just not what it was. And here's the thing about it is that this is why I tell everybody, if you want to study how dangerous your ego is, study Carlos Mencia. Because Carlos Mencia did not have to walk up on that stage that night. And if he hadn't walked up on that stage, what would his career be?
You're talking about the Rogan thing. Yeah.
The Rogan snuff film, I call it. It was a snuff film.
Should we watch that? I haven't watched that in so long.
No, it's hard for me because there's a lot of things wrong with that video.
You think so, really?
Well, no. I mean, what Joe, Red Band, I'm cool with that whole thing. But
here's Rogan reflecting on it. We can maybe let's watch that for a second. Oh, look at her.
The Joe Rogan Experience. Did you? I'm sure you've talked about this a million times. Did you ever stop going there for a chunk of time, or you?
I stopped for 7 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I stopped for 7 years after I had that dispute with Carlos Mencia. Yeah, that was when he was way more popular than me, like especially as a comic.
And it's crazy.
That's
because,
crazy to think about.
Because Fear Factor just ended, and the UFC wasn't what it is today.
That's crazy to think
Right?
about.
So at that moment, at the zenith of Carlos Mencia is bigger than Joe Rogan.
Mencia, I mean, Mind of Mencia was huge, dude. I remember getting an argument with one of the writers at the Durham Herald telling me how he was like, I was like, dude, I don't like him. And he was like, dude, he's the funniest comedian ever.
I took off. It wasn't really the Comedy Store either. It was this one guy who was the manager. Because Mitzi, actually, I called Mitzi and gave her the whole rundown of what was going on. I told her. And she's like, well, you just stay away from him. And then she gave me a spot that night. And then they called me up 2 hours later to tell me that I was banned. So I said, wait a minute. I just talked to Mitzi. Like, she gave me a spot. She told me when to go up. So if she's not running the store, like, who's deciding I'm banned? You are? Like, what are you doing? Like, do you guys understand what this is? I mean, this is like you're having a little battle for, like, whether or not you're going to let people profit off of crime. Like, this is really what's happening. You have thought crime. You have intellectual crime. You have plagiarism.
Johnny,
and you're allowing...
If people knew how some of these people that are just huge, how many jokes they've stolen, whole albums from people.
Really?
And that's what Carlos is talking about.
You mean Joe's talking about? Yeah.
What?
What Joe's talking about?
And what Joe's talking about.
Oh, what Carlos is saying when he was saying other people.
Yeah.
Well, the worst one I can think of, is there one that's worse than this? Because the worst one I can ever think of is Leary basically stealing Hicks's entire
because
being.
the reason that's bad for you is because everyone knows who Bill Hicks is.
But they're like lower level ones that people have
No,
just
I
stolen
mean, there's arena comics right now that I know stole.
But like from lower level people. is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Well, they're not lower level. They're just not. They're A-list comedy club comedians. They're just not playing arenas.
Okay.
And it just like,
but
if
it's
I,
as bad as like the way Leary just ripped Hicks off. Like,
well,
it's that
it's
bad?
not only just bad, bro. This guy would fire people. The reason I'm not saying his name is because it will be war. It will be
You're
war.
talking about the comedian you're talking about? Okay.
It will be war. It will be war. And the day will come out. And like, I'm just going to tell you this. I am not the comedy police anymore. There was a time I would get like I really regret how I first, and this is kind of the awakening of Sam Tripoli that took a very long time. But like when I would go at it with Dice, I regret that so much because I could have gone on a road with him. I was perfect for him.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
And it just.
What happened with you guys? How'd that start?
I don't. Again, it's like some weird shit. But I just.
But at the store you ran into each other?
Yeah, he would bump me every time, which is fine. And then I would rip him, and he would love it. And then it just got bad.
Like a respect thing?
Yeah, I mean, because I talk mad shit. I'm a shit. There was a time I'm like, dude, scorch the earth Tripoli. But I just realized that, like, nobody wants to work with that guy.
Yeah.
Like, I was the guy calling out everybody for all the bullshit. And then, guess what? Nobody was taking me on the road with them. Mostly because I was really hard to follow. And I get that. I get that because comedy on the road is so ridiculous because it's not like a band where a band can take out the greatest band before them because there's this giant break in between which settles all the energy.
Yeah, next year Green Day's got Smashing Pumpkins opening for them on a North
Right?
American
I mean,
tour. Like, that's crazy. If
That's
that was
crazy
comedians,
to
that
me.
would never happen.
That would never happen. But in Europe, it can happen. And the way they do it is the second best comic goes first.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay.
and Joe did that a little bit, right? Because Joe Rogan would take out Joey Diaz and then have like Ari or a couple times
That's
me.
not a bad idea, really.
Well, it's the way it should be, and that makes the next comic even better because
people got get brought into it right away. Like,
But
bam.
following Joey Diaz at a Joe Rogan show is certain death.
Forget about
There's nobody that can. I mean, you have to think about who is on that line, on that level, and it's. Joe Rogan is the only one who could follow Joey Diaz at a Joe Rogan show. It's like literally like you're middling for Van Halen and the opening act is David Lee Roth.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be somebody with the big energy to even get
No,
like Burt maybe or something.
But in
I
that
don't know,
ecosystem,
maybe Burt.
number 2 is Joey Diaz. If you always go, who's your favorite guest, and they list all the biggest guests, it is always Joey Diaz.
Crazy.
And then like Theo Vaughn is a far, far distant. Tim Dillon, they're all killers.
Is the person you're talking about who stole a a lot of jokes and maybe a whole act. Is that a recent thing like that?
No. This is way back in the day.
Okay.
Way back.
Are they still touring on that kind of like
he
those
stole
jokes
all
and
of
that?
Edwin San Juan's act one time, and then Edwin San Juan went to Hawaii, and they go, just so you know, this guy did all of that entire act you just did. He just did it.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. I know a guy who got in trouble at the Houston, Bobby Lee saw this guy. The Bobby Lee was doing this joke.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not getting into it because I just don't want war because I'm old. Back in the day, I was all about that. So that's it. But going back to Carlos, I actually thought about calling him and talking to him and saying something, because I'll never, at this moment in my life, I'm so thankful for everything I have. I have a very cool career. I am like one of the few people that can get as real as fuck on stage. Like real, not like hacky real or like certain like social, culturally acceptable real, like real.
Yeah.
The only thing I learned is this weekend I can't talk about the Bible in front of an all Mexican crowd. Woof, they got quiet,
Really?
bro. I'm like moving right along.
That's great.
But I'm very blessed.
Wait, now it did seem like he was genuinely asking for an explanation in that video, right?
Yeah,
that
I mean,
seemed
like,
genuine.
here's the
that
whole
wasn't
thing.
performative.
There's some things that you'll never be able to come back from, but what you can do is get a second chance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I
You're
got
always going to be that guy, but you can always be like, hey man, he's chilled out, dude. And the thing I'm just going to tell people, especially young people, is like, what? And this isn't something I made up. This is something I'm telling you. Watch out for how you treat people on the way up, because everything that goes up must come down. And if you treat people like shit the whole way up, no one's going to stick their hand out to catch you and stop the slide.
Also, just be nice to people because it's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? It's
right.
like,
it is the right thing to do.
Maybe
I'm
you
gonna
don't
be
make
honest
it up.
with you, dude. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't tell you how many of my TV credits I simply got because holy shit, dude. There's a giant fire on the highway right now.
Oh, I saw. That was on the 10, maybe something.
Yeah.
Like that? I got
My God,
I think that
dude.
was earlier
Crazy. We live in crazy times. Anyways, you see how Gavin Newsom just cleaned up San Francisco because Xi Jinping is coming? Like,
really?
all the homeless people are gone.
That's so funny.
Like, the notion that we could never do this. And then you realize, they could do it. They just don't want to.
Yeah, they don't want to. Yeah. No, that's.
So that's my whole thing to Carlos.
No, I
Carlos,
like that. All right.
accept it, own it. That's why I talk about all the crazy shit. Like, you call me out on some shit, I own it. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm a scumbag.
Wear it.
So that's my whole thing.
Closing these down.
So, Johnny, okay, man, I really got to go. I got to get up early tomorrow.
You just want to skip to the news then?
Can you I sent you one thing with Greta, the climate change woman. Can we just do one fun
When
with
did you
stupid?
send it? Where did you
I
send it?
texted it to you from my social media phone. Okay. Listen to this. It is the funny.
No climate justice on occupied land.
No climate justice on occupied land. No climate justice on occupied land.
No climate justice on occupied.
Is her voice changing? Like, what,
yeah,
is she
of course.
Is she hitting
when
male
it's
puberty?
time to change, you got to rearrange.
What does that mean?
She's saying no climate justice
on occupied land.
On occupied land.
What does that
Which
mean?
is like saying we need gun control at the vegan restaurant, right? It's like two different causes that you've just mushed together for absolutely no reason, and it makes no sense.
It confuses the hell out of me. I can't
it's
even.
nothing. It's just like she's getting all of her causes.
I feel like you just asked me to think about infinity. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like.
But think about that. She's trying to mash two causes into one cause, which makes
It's
no
like
sense.
that news story we had a couple of weeks ago where they took Sarah Silverman's name and got it into that Kevin Brennan story. That's exactly what she's doing.
So she's trying to say that we're not going to protect the climate in Israel because they're occupying Palestinian land. That's what she's trying to say. Like, we're going to hold off helping your environment because you're occupying Palestine. That's literally what she's saying.
It's okay. You know, this thing is literally the fate of the entire world, but we're going to put it on a hold.
Yeah.
Until you figure out this.
By the way, the environment will not be saved in your strip of land. Everywhere else, we're working to save it. In your area, you're fucked. Enjoy acid rain and holes in old zones. Right? It makes no sense.
Get ready for Israel warming, you know?
Yeah. Welcome to Israel warming. Right? That's like what she's
So
doing.
stupid. What does that even mean, dude?
It's just like she's just a robot.
Oh, do you think she goes to school? Like, what did they, or do they just
No,
like?
she's like 18 now.
Really?
She's like
but is she going to
18,
college
19.
or anything? Like, I wonder if they just fly her
why would
around.
she go to college? She's making so much money.
Yeah, they just fly her. Look at this guy on the right, by the way. Look, he's got his face painted. And
Look at it. What is that? Can you guess, guy or girl?
Oh, it's a guy.
That's a guy who wants to be a girl,
I know
though,
he's
right?
got eye makeup on.
Well, look at like how smooth his skin is.
No, you're right. It's a
right?
big
Like
schnoz,
normal
too.
guys don't have that smooth of skin.
But look at it. He's got like.
But look at that fist. That says it's a guy.
Yeah,
the skin says
broken
it's a girl,
wrist.
and the hair says it's a
I
girl.
don't. That fist though. Look, it's a broken
Yeah,
wrist.
it's
He's kinda
like-
this.
yes.
It's like those guys that you see and they shoot a gun like
BLM
this.
is the best.
Have you ever seen in movies where they have people shooting the guns like this with their wrists broken? You know, where if they fired a gun in that position, it would just hit them right in the nose.
Yeah, it's just so weird, dude. It's so weird.
That's so stupid. No climate
So
justice.
some
I'm not
guy
gonna-
comes up and grabs the mic if you watch.
Oh,
it.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a guy.
Oh, it's a guy. Look at that Adam's apple.
I think we are running out of time, but I think many of you have heard me speak before. You know my message. It's still the same, and it's going to be the same for the coming years as well. So we don't want to take up too much of your time. Thank you.
So this guy comes up. Watch this guy. No, what happened? That's so weird. I saw a video where a guy comes up and grabs the mic from her, and it becomes a big thing.
Different event, maybe?
Whoa, that's really weird. Anyway, so that's it. And then the other thing that's very funny is, so now there's a whole thing about trans for Palestine. Like, and listen.
That doesn't make any sense, I have to say. I'm sorry. The Palestinians wouldn't have much to do with trans.
You could support the Palestinian people. Okay, they're different from Hamas. Hamas are sellout scumbag, controlled opposition. We all know that,
who would
right? I was talking this the other day. I said it's like if they're really a terrorist organization, why hasn't the International Banking Organization frozen their bank accounts?
Yeah,
they're like, they're with this one, dude. It's all the same banking organization. It's just like they're playing both sides.
It's money that goes from Biden to Iran.
Yeah. It's all the
Hamas,
same.
yeah.
It's if they were really what you think they are, they would have their bank accounts frozen, and they wouldn't be able to own yachts as their people get slaughtered. That's crazy. So, but the notion of trans for Palestine, it's just like it's and like look, you could love Palestine. But it's just like,
don't go there. You know?
Well, it's just like you're bringing out the big guns. What I'm talking about is this chick's dicks, okay? A bunch of chick dicks are coming out for Palestine.
Oh, dude.
And they imagine being trans in Palestine. Like it's like, do you care?
Forget
Even
about it, yeah. Well, you know, it's great though because you can wear that burqa and nobody knows a thing.
Yeah, and like, what are you gonna do if someone gets your pronouns wrong in Gaza?
Well, you're gonna complain. You're gonna send a complaint up
hey,
to the top
listen,
of Hamas.
Just listen.
You know,
okay?
it's like a guy complaining about his goats being stolen, another guy complaining about Israelis killing his children, and then, they called me sir, and I'm they them.
Yeah.
You know?
And then boom, that's all they do. So that's it, Johnny.
It's over.
What else? I gotta go. I really gotta go.
We got 10 more minutes for an hour and a half, which is what we said we were shooting for.
Dude.
We didn't start until 10:30 tonight.
You're killing me.
We're running a little late here, folks. No fault of anybody. Sandwich.
Yeah,
is
it's
busy.
your fault. You.
What do you mean,
freak?
You told me we started at 10:30. We started at 10:30.
You're the worst.
Let me see. I'm gonna have to tone this down. Did you see that James Toney and Razor Ruddock? Think about those names. James Toney and Razor Ruddock had a fight this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, those guys are like in the almost 60. Razor Ruddock's 59. James Toney's 55. Here's just a brief glimpse of the horror. I mean,
Knocked out 30 opponents in Razor's career.
Left hook to the body from James
all I gotta
Toney.
say is like, look how many of these seats are empty.
Look how fat. It's like in Jamaica, I think. But listen to this. Here's the funniest thing. So it was originally supposed to be 6 3-minute rounds. And after the first couple of rounds, the Jamaican authorities were like, dude, they're never going to make it to the end of this. So they made it 2-minute rounds instead so that they could get through the fight. They didn't think they were going to make it to the end. It ended up being a draw, of course, because it was an exhibition.
It's always a draw.
James Toney, by the way, underrated talent. That guy was a special
great,
guy.
Bro.
He was special, man.
Did he mess up?
Messed up a lot of people.
Yeah, dude, he was great. And then he tried to go fight in MMA, and he got lit up by Randy Couture.
Yeah, I mean, that's
like
a
in
mistake.
10 seconds.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Did you hear the? Okay, let me see.
I gotta go.
This industrial robot in South Korea, and this is just a glimpse into our future, killed a guy because it thought that he was a box of produce and just started grabbing him and like handling him like a box of produce, and it killed him. Isn't that crazy?
What?
A robot crushed a man to death in South Korea after the machine apparently failed to differentiate him from the boxes of produce it was handling. The man, a robotics company worker in his 40s, was inspecting the robot's sensor operations in South Korea. The industrial robot, which was lifting boxes filled with bell peppers and placing them on a pallet, appears to have malfunctioned and identified the man as a box. And it just killed him, just snapped him.
Yeah, well, that's what's
That's
coming.
the future, dude.
That's what's coming.
And speaking of robots, did you see that LAPD used a robot to get this guy off the bus this week? Did you see this? They used one of those robo dogs from, the East Coast. Those, what's it called?
Yeah.
DARPA.
Oh, no.
Yeah, dude. Look at this.
A robot
LAPD.
dog to assist with an hours-long standoff on a metro bus involving an armed
Black
suspect.
Mirror, man.
Everything came
Look
to
at
a
that.
peaceful end. KTLA's
Yeah,
Elena
when you
Logan,
freak
live in
out, if
East
you're like,
Hollywood
oh,
with the details
gosh.
for us.
Okay, I'm done.
They even painted it black, man. They want it to look intimidating.
Frank, good morning. That's right. This
Look at her.
did come to a peaceful
You're
end.
like,
the suspect eventually surrendered to
they
police,
give
and
her
no one
they give
was
her Twitter.
injured.
They
He
should
was
give her
taken into
OnlyFans too.
custody without incident. You can see here
Abovian?
behind
Is-
me
is
that
she
the
Armenian, possibly?
scene is all
Abovian?
clear. But you mentioned this robot dog. This new technology really played a very big part in bringing this situation to a calm resolution. Now take a look. This is the video. You can see this robot dog with the
Look at this,
LAPD,
dude.
with the
It's
SWAT
on the
team
bus. Look at
in
it.
full action this morning. This is Melrose and Western.
Come off
the
the
armed
bus.
suspect was taken
That
into
is
custody
so
with the help of
scary.
this robot
That
dog.
is so
Look
scary.
how confused this guy is getting off the bus, though. He's
SWAT
like, what the
officers
fuck was
deployed
that?
the dog to assist, saying the use of this technology really helped resolve the situation without putting
Look,
any
the robot coming
officers or
behind him.
community members in harm's way. You can see in this video the suspect cooperating with officers as he surrendered. This all started around 4:30 this morning. A call came in from a passenger
bring out the dog
on the
again.
bus, a 911 call.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
Yeah, he's like trying to argue his thing. He's like, hey, man, why are you sending Terminators in? I'm just hijacking a bus.
The future, dude. It's the future, man. There's this great new RoboCop video game that just came out that I've been playing.
Yeah.
I think they're prepping us for RoboCop becoming a real situation. So, did you see that this airplane took off and it didn't have any windows, dude? An airplane, like a real jetliner, took off. It's from USA Today. A flight from London to Orlando, so like a transatlantic flight, had to turn around because after passengers discovered that some of the cabin windows were missing after the plane took off.
Yeah. Welcome to the world of diversity in the airlines.
And listen to the explanation for why this happened, though. It's very confusing to me. Investigators believe the plane windows were damaged by high-powered lights that were used for filming the day before. So somebody was on there filming something, and I guess the lights were so hot that they damaged the windows. Can you imagine that, dude, taking off and then just realize, like, putting your arm through, like, wait, there's a lot of wind. That's what they said. The passengers noticed it was noisier and windier than normal. And then one of them just kind of stuck his hand out and was like,
and how's your hand not get...
well, I mean, it's, it's like a...
when you go, hey, before we take off...
I think he just stuck a little finger out. It's like, hey.
As they were flying?
I guess so, man. I mean,
dude, this is just ridiculous.
There's something weird about that story to me. I don't... I think it is part of your campaign you talk about to keep people from flying.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, dude, I've been flying and there's not as many people on the flights, I've noticed.
I've been getting upgraded
way more.
They want you in a 15-minute city. Why would they want you flying?
Have you noticed less people flying, though? I feel like I have.
Well, I had one thing. They're like, get your own Get your own row. I was like, what?
I got upgraded to pilot last week, which is just crazy. I mean, that never happens.
Upgrade to pilot? You want to fly this thing?
Yeah, that's what they said. Doctors and patients have long known that antidepressants can cause sexual problems. That's no libido, pleasureless orgasms, numb genitals.
Gay ass shit.
Well over half the people taking SSRIs have reported those side effects. Now, a small but vocal group of patients is speaking out about severe sexual problems that have endured long after they stopped taking SSRIs. This sounds like population control. Is really what it sounds like. The drug's effects have been devastating. My clitoris felt like a knuckle, Emily Gray said, a 27-year-old woman in Vancouver. She took the drug Celexa for depression from ages 17 to 23. It is not a normal thing to have to come to terms with. She's 27 now and is still
rock hard
dealing with this. Yeah, not in a good way. The safety label on Prozac, one of the most widely prescribed SSRIs, warns that sexual problems may persist after the drug is discontinued. And health authorities in Europe and Canada recently acknowledged that medications can lead to lasting sexual issues. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So you gotta, dude, if you're getting put on antidepressants, and I get it, some people need them, and if it's gonna save your life, don't think about sexual problems, save your life. But dude,
all right,
no, we're not there yet.
Dude,
we have to hit 90
I
minutes.
gotta get up so early
We
tomorrow.
have to hit 9 minutes. This is crazy. So
I gotta go.
There were attendees
care.
at this thing called Ape Fest that all reported. Ape Fest was like a crypto fest, you know?
Yeah, I know.
And these people reported headaches, eye pain, and they couldn't figure out what it was. What it turned out to be.
Shiba Inu?
These dipshits used UV lights as the lights at the event. And these people got their fucking eyes nuked by these ultraviolet lights.
Oh
at
my.
the event, dude.
Oh
like the
my.
people that were really close got all jacked up by it. They were reporting headaches and apparently it could even cause blindness if you don't get it treated.
I can't believe there's that many people at a crypto event.
Yeah, and this has happened before. This happened at other events. Who are these people that are requesting UV lights for their events?
So ridiculous.
Really stupid.
It's so ridiculous.
So a woman at an airport had a woman at a Minnesota airport had giraffe poop seized by customs because she wanted to make a necklace out of it. She had in the past made a necklace out of moose poop. And she claimed that she wanted to make a necklace out of giraffe poop.
I'll fight everybody right now.
So this is think about the
fight
shit. Look at
everybody.
this, dude. This is what she brought back from her vacation. Look on the screen. She wanted to make a necklace out of these giraffe turds and a snail.
That chick is into weird shit.
That's weird,
man.
right? Who would do that?
Weird shit.
Oh, okay. So somebody. Remember you talked about how you ran into that guy at the gas station a couple weeks ago?
Oh, yeah, dude. Johnny, man. I can't thank you for bringing this up.
So I think you might have almost been trafficked.
Dude, imagine human trafficking me.
So someone sent me a DM on Twitter, a link to this tweet from someone called Sarah Gonzalez. It says a PSA for the ladies plus Sam Tripoli. Twice within the last month, I've been approached at 2 different gas stations. This is exactly what happened to you. By 2 different men who walked up to me, credit card in hand, and asked if I could come toward their car and help them figure out how to use their credit card at the gas pump. Not once did they ask for money. They asked me to follow them. In fact, the first one I briefly informed he had to leave his card in the machine until it told him to take it out, and he persisted. He walked over to me until she physically showed him. Both times I declined to do that and left as soon as possible. But this has never happened to me before. And she's saying, is this a coincidence? What adult owns a car but doesn't know how to use a credit card at a gas pump? And then she spoke with a friend of hers who confirmed that human trafficking at gas stations is happening at an accelerated rate.
Yeah.
So I think this is what almost happened to you, bro.
Imagine human trafficking my flat ass.
That's what I was saying.
Imagine if you ordered man ass and up comes my no ass. How much would you be pissed?
Do you remember what the guy was driving? Was it like a white van?
No, it was a RAV4.
Could have thrown you in the back, I guess. Could have like dosed you or
Hey,
something.
man, would you like? Can you help me with this?
There's something going on. I wonder if it's a glitch in the Matrix. It could be a glitch in the Matrix.
But I got to go. I'll talk to you guys.
Did you see this video, dude? So look at this. There's green sludge coming out of the streets in New York.
Yeah, New York's got problems.
So look at this, bro.
Yeah, I mean, when do the Ninja Turtles show up?
Well, that's what, or like the Ghostbusters, right? I mean, this is straight out of Ghostbusters.
Like, dude,
and Ninja
the world's
Turtles.
going to shit.
Look, here's a larger version of this. And what people's explanation is.
By the way, Twitter right now is recommending that I follow Zelensky.
The explanation for this is that they use dye to detect leaks, like where they're coming from. They dye water, and that's what this is. But I don't know, man. That looks really weird.
I'm out.
That looks really strange.
It's really dumb.
Let me see. I got retards using UV lighting. I got green sludge. Did you hear about this pilot who attempted to crash the plane he was flying a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
Well, did you hear why?
Because he's on shrooms?
Because he was on shrooms. A bad shroom trip is what this guy says
By the way,
led him to try to crash this plane.
Acid you have bad trips on. It's very rare you have a bad mushroom trip.
Well, and he wasn't tripping while he was on the plane. It was a trip from the day before that led him to doubt the nature of his reality, and he had lost a friend recently, and he thought maybe he needed to kill.
You're an asshole, okay? You're an asshole. Don't blame shrooms because you're a piece of shit.
In the minutes before he boarded an Alaska Airlines flight home last month, Joseph Emerson, a pilot for the airline, texted his wife. He was eager to be home with her. He wrote, "I want to hold you."
Oh,
the
Jesus.
flight was
She's got to be
full.
like, "What'd you cheat on me?"
The flight was full, and Emerson was off duty, so he settled in the cockpit jump seat, making small talk with the pilots. And as the plane climbed toward southward out of Everett, Washington, the plane reached cruising altitude and crossed into Oregon on its way to San Francisco. But Emerson appeared to grow agitated, throwing off his headset and started saying, "I'm not okay," and suddenly reached up and yanked the plane's 2 fire suppression handles.
I'll fight
which
everybody,
cut the fuel
dude.
supply to shut down the engines. And here's his explanation. He goes, "I thought I would stop both engines. The plane would start to head towards a crash, and I would wake up." He thought he was dreaming, and he needed to somehow get his way out. It's like Inception, basically. He thought, if he got that drop, that he would wake up. Upon landing, they took him into custody, charged him with an account of murder for everybody on board the plane. That was 88 counts. He said he had no intention of hurting anyone. He said he was desperate to awaken from a hallucinogenic state that had consumed him since taking psychedelic mushrooms 2 days earlier during a weekend
asshole,
getaway with friends.
Chill out in a Motel 6 and mind your own business.
They were commemorating the death of a friend of theirs. And it was a loss that had plunged him into a deep grief and triggered a search for help with what he realized were long-standing
you're gonna get a
mental
ton of help
health
in prison as you live in prison.
He's going to get off on like a mental case, right? Don't you think?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Did you see the story that Mike Johnson has an app to stop? It's like AA for masturbation, basically. And his accountability buddy in this app is his own son. And the way it works is you see the act when somebody else is using pornography, it reports to your accountability buddy.
So he's monitoring his kids.
And his kid is monitoring his.
Good.
That's weird, dude.
Yeah, it is weird, but it's a war, Johnny.
He's like 17.
We're in a war. Okay?
You don't think that we're in a war?
Soldier. Okay, I'm fighting the war about quick, easy fun.
You know, it's funny.
I
you
miss
say that
my friends
because
okay?
that was when I was a kid. I think when I graduated, the church got me, or maybe it was my parents actually got me this book called "Every Young Man's Battle." That's what it was called, and it was about jerking off, not jerking off.
Because it's quick, easy, free, and it's fun.
Is that
it
bad?
takes you out.
Is that bad?
Well, no, but for me, it's just like I just don't want to watch it anymore. I've watched so much of it. I just don't want to watch anymore, and I get bored.
This is the craziest damn story ever.
Okay,
right here.
bye.
Police in Akron are hunting the thieves who have stolen an entire 58-foot bridge. So just overnight, a bridge disappeared in Ohio, and they don't know who or what or how.
Dude, that is the most
Look at
tweaker
this,
shit
Look at
I've
this
ever
picture
heard.
right here. That's the thing right there. It's a bridge, a pedestrian bridge that spanned it.
That is the most tweaker shit I've ever heard in my life. That's either aliens or tweakers.
They're
It's
saying
one
the
or
police
other.
are saying it could be used for a variety of different things, to include landscaping, or maybe they use it for an engineering project. But they have no idea what happened to this bridge. They just one day it was gone.
I just farted.
In Ohio. I'm not surprised by that. You
Bye.
fart all the time.
Guys, I seriously, I gotta go.
Okay, well, the last thing.
Go to samtripoli.com for all of
do you remember
your.
Ray Stevens?
What?
Do you remember Ray Stevens? He used to do like funny videos.
Yeah.
You remember him, Ray Stevens?
This guy?
No, Ray Stevens. Like he did that song, like "Everyone Is Beautiful," But he had in the early 90s, late 80s, he would do like comedy videos, really popular in the South. I don't know if you would know him though. He did like a song called The Streak. Do you remember this guy right here? Ray Stevens. Anyway, so he's an old man now, but he's still making comedy videos. Here's one that I used to watch all the time. My grandma got me this tape when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And is wading into politics now with the most, I mean, I'm just going to show it to you briefly. This guy was like huge in the South, like millions. Like he won Grammys.
That's him?
He's won Grammys. Yeah. And look at the production value on what he's up to these days. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? What is this?
I like it.
It's crazy, right?
I like it. I like it.
There's no production value. It's clearly
I don't
just
care.
a bunch
Let
of
the
people
old
standing
man
around.
bang,
I
dog.
wonder how many views that has. 366,000. Ray Stevens, you don't understand how huge Ray Stevens is. And now he's getting like super political, like, you know, taking on the trans issue.
Yeah, of course. At that age, what else do you got?
It's great.
He probably watches Fox and they just go nuts, and good for him. Why not, bro? The Kenyan government and helped perpetuate the stereotype that Africa is dependent on handouts. So here's the community notes from this. The two people deriding Mr. Beast are one, a Kenyan politician, and two, a woman who founded a nonprofit based in Cambridge, Massachusetts that raised $131,000 in 2020 and spent $83,000 on themselves. So who does the community notes?
Anybody, you know, anybody can do them. Like you just are part of it.
I love it. I think the community notes are the best. They just body people.
That's
dude.
just. I mean, they just dunked on them though.
It's
I mean,
the
that's just
best.
modern racism though.
But
Like
who-
white people can't
How do
help
they
black
make
people.
sure that the community notes are true?
Well, everybody is it's like Wikipedia. You know, everybody's checking it. If it's
I
bullshit,
love
they'll
it,
take
dude.
it
They
out.
just bodied that motherfucker.
Isn't that great, dude? Because if you're white,
Israel
you're
is
not allowed to
getting
help.
bodied in the
Unless you're
community
Bill
notes.
Gates, I guess you're not allowed to spend money. In,
You see how this nun was
Africa.
like, I was at the hospital and I can't believe the Hamas bombed us. And then the community notes were like, people who work at this hospital say they've never seen this woman there ever.
That's so great. Have you seen Bridget Fonda lately?
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? Have you seen, like, I saw an interview with her the other day. This is a woman that used to be one of the most beautiful
I have
women
no
ever.
problem. I'm going to be honest with you, Johnny. You're still pretty young. This happens to everybody.
I know, it's
This
just
is
crazy,
life.
right? She's 59. Well, it
Yeah.
doesn't happen to everybody. Some people fight it and look unnaturally
Yeah,
young.
but she did her thing. Like, the notion that you should be like, this to me is lazy gross. Like, to go out.
Look, I mean, that's not that long ago, dude. That's
that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I guess.
That's a long time,
No,
dude.
that's an Inglourious Bastards. That didn't come out in 2003, did it? Was Inglourious Bastards that old? Fuck if it is.
Okay.
That's 2009, dude. That was 2009.
That's still, Johnny.
That was 14
that's almost
years ago,
15 years ago. Johnny, I have no problems with this. Some people like.
I feel like it's got to be glandular.
I know. I just feel like at some points, like you just want to chill.
Yeah. And
It's like
eat Doritos,
dude,
I guess.
Listen, Johnny, at 59, you
look
literally
good. Though. You don't look any different than you did. I mean, except for
Well,
like
I'm working
gray
out and trying
facial
to
hair.
stay relevant and like because I have young kids, I'm trying to stay healthy. But it's like at some point, like who cares?
No, I mean, I see what you're saying. It's just shocking, I guess.
Who cares?
You don't see it with Hollywood types. You know, they usually kind of fight it till the end. You know, rage against.
She obviously doesn't want to act
fattening.
anymore. So why she want to stay? Like she likes to eat. She likes to have fun. I can't stand when they're like, look at this person now. It's like, bro, you're young. Wait till you get older. It's like it's a lot of work to keep the
She
pound.
was as hot as it got.
Yeah, she's great. Now she just wants to live her life.
I loved her.
The creepiest thing is when you look super young, like Tom Cruise, and the rest of the like cast of Top Gun is dead or fat.
Speaking of Top Gun,
I
we had
gotta go.
a story
Bye.
this week about
SamTripoli.com.
just listen to this as you're
For all
walking out.
No, and then go
Yeah,
check
yeah.
out Chaos Twins. Please support. I'm trying so I can get canceled.
This cop down in Australia got fired because he pulled his gun on a guy who was giving him spoilers for Top Gun Maverick. Isn't that crazy?
That is funny, Johnny. That's a great story.
He got fired, dude, because the guy was like, I'm going to give you spoilers for Maverick. He's like, no, you're not, man. And pulled out his gun and threatened him.
Got shot.
Yeah, that's what I thought you would say was Jason
All right,
Tebow.
bye.
There's Sam leaving right behind me.
Johnny, are you gonna do the read?
Yeah, I'll do the read. Yeah.
All right, bye.
What else? There was a fight at the Museum of Tolerance. Did you see this?
That's so funny.
They were showing just down the street, over by the Grove.
Funny when the Museum of Tolerance would let people in that weren't vaccinated.
Yeah, it's
that's
so
the
crazy.
most ridiculous.
It's so crazy, dude.
Shit.
They were showing like video of the Hamas attacks, you know, just that was released by Hamas. And some people just start beating the shit out of each other, like, this is racist.
Shit happens.
At the Museum of Tolerance.
Shit happens, Johnny. Johnny thinks I had too big of tits in this shirt.
You asked me if you would be comfortable with it, and I said no. Bye. Bye, everybody. See y'all later.